Interesting development today in the world of snooker. Ronnie O'Sullivan has pulled out of the Evergrande China Championship, an invitation event coming up in the first week of November. His place to be taken by Mark Williams, but he's intent on picking up as many world ranking points as possible.
Well, this is a good test for him here this evening. There's no doubt about that. We know how good Mark Allen is if he turns it on.
And we talk about O'Sullivan being the favourite, and yet, in terms of the world ranking, Allen is higher.
Yeah, and that's the reason why Ronnie's in the what we call the green chair rather than the yellow chair. The highest ranked player always sits in the yellow chair. Yeah, Mark Allen at number 8 in the world, Ronnie at number 10. Well, I just thought when Ronnie broke off there, he caught the pack a little bit on the thin side, and he wasn't able to cover that red, but it's still a great opening pot. And he's nicely on the green to the centre as well.
He's always been the kind of player who needs motivation. Mark Allen plays his best when he really wants to win. And the mere sight of O'Sullivan in the opposite chair makes him want to win.
Don't need any more motivation than that, do you?
4.
Just landed the wrong angle on the red near the pink. He'll play the right on one. Nicely done.
5.
There's certainly no intimidation factor when it comes to Allen playing O'Sullivan. Remarkably, this is their first meeting in over 5 years. Only 3 matches between them in professional tournaments before this. And Mark Allen has a winning record. 2 victories against 1. And both of those wins came on major stages. One at the World Championship, 13-11, second round 2009. The other, 6-4, first round of the Masters in 2011. And they haven't encountered each other since.
Yes, and this opportunity all came about with Ronnie's break-off shot. We know the importance of that first ball, you know, that first shot you're going to play in the frame, and if you don't cover the reds, leave one on, well, this can happen, of course, at this level. It's unusually for Ronnie, because he normally plays a break-off shot really well, but let's say I think he just caught the pack a little bit thinner than intended. But it was
26.
a great red to get in for the Irishman.
27.
Well, at the moment, he's having to sit this one out.
$34. 35.
He's got a perfect angle to go into the pack here. But as always, you need some luck. Oh, he's caught them beautifully. What about that first split? That could be end of frame.
42.
Couldn't have hit them better.
And Allen couldn't have played better in this tournament so far. Remarkably, this is his 4th match and he's yet to lose a frame. And I don't think after this he's going to lose this one. That was on the nose.
That one wasn't, though. Could have been better. He was trying to find the gap and hit the red just this side of the pink, but
50.
still has one on to the middle. Two words you mentioned there early on, Phil. Intimidation factor. You're absolutely right. This guy won't be intimidated. He just goes about his business, doesn't he?
It's been a dream tournament for him so far. OK, he's no
56.
great opposition against him so far. He beat Darrell Hill 4-0 in the first round, the man from the Isle of Man, as we see the opening red. And it was Harmon Mir 4-0 in the last 64. Daniel Womersley,
57.
an amateur, 4-0 here, so not coming up against any great experience or indeed players with status in the game, but nevertheless they're all capable potters, and
64.
to record a hat-trick of whitewashes underlines how well he's playing.
65.
Well, this blue is now frame ball, and it would be nice to start off with a century.
Yes, in a tournament where they've been relatively thin on the ground. The high break remains John Higgins' 1-1-8, which is a very low figure.
70.
Just the 10 centuries so far,
71.
so this would be number 11, and bear in mind we're deep into day 3.
Yeah, we didn't have anything today either with those two matches. Early on in the day, there was no centuries during those games. I think we might see a couple here, though, this evening, with Neil Robertson to come as well.
76.
A good split again. Nice on the pink. It's just that slightly awkward red down the table. But he's played these very well. I mean, this is from the opening red. He's given Ronnie notice here.
83. 84. 90.
Looking to get on the brown or the green. Slow down, slow down. I think he's perfectly on the brown. Natural angle to get him behind this red and nudge it off the cushion. Oh, well done. What about that? Oh, this has been immaculate. Once he went into the pack, well, there's the crowd. We said there was a good crowd in. It's on the second tier, but they're up there watching these talented players. But that opening red was terrific. But once he got the reds open from that great split, well, the rest has been immaculate. There's the century. Career number 287.
103. 106. 110.
Oh, what a start this is. Whoa, slow down, slow down. Pinged off the cushion.
150.
You were talking about John Higgins at the top of the list, Phil. It's now been beaten.
Emphatic and clinical from Mark Allen. You could not wish for a better start than that. Talk about signalling your intent. Allen 1, O'Sullivan 0. Talk about settling down immediately. Mark Allen, what a start. O'Sullivan broke off in frame 1, left a red. Allen stroked it in, cleared up. The die has been cast. He must be feeling very confident now.
Good break-off shot as well. That's what Ronnie needed in the opening frame. Didn't get it, and that was it. We keep talking about it. Man, it's a long way to go. It's best of sevens, the sprints, but we often say the importance of that opening shot. And we just witnessed there how it can cost you if you don't get it right. Hang on a minute. Ooh,
The cue ball stopping just in the nick of time.
Got too close to the pocket. He's left it on. Ronnie can knock this in down the rail and get himself onto the blue. Well, he's sized down one of the bolt colours, that's fair enough, but nicely played. Stroked it in. He's got a perfect angle to get into the pack here. I mean, this match could turn out to be a cracker, Phil, couldn't it? You know, they're going to sort of possibly bring each other on here. And a wonderful start from the Irishman. And Ronnie here looking to return the compliment, but he's just left himself a little bit short on this red. No, overcut it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
I think he's just about covered it though.
Well, this is the first time this season that O'Sullivan has played a member of the world's top 16. Beaten by Michael Holt in the Shanghai Masters. He's qualified for the International Championship, overcoming James Cahill. And he's 3 victories in this tournament. The highest ranked player he's come up against, Dave Gilbert, last night. So in many respects, this is his biggest test of the campaign thus far.
You can bet your bottom dollar that Mark Allen won't give him anything either. Just hoping to get the cover on the pack with the yellow. Always makes a difference if you just slide by the baulk colours. If you'd caught the green there would have been a red onto the left corner. No, is he taking this on? No, he's playing the safety. We haven't mentioned our referee yet this evening, Phil, have we? Terry Camilleri from Malta.
Yes, the second time this week he's officiated an O'Sullivan match.
Might be interested in the football match on Saturday then, yeah? England against Malta at Wembley. I'm sure you'll find a screen somewhere to watch it. Ronnie's played it, but he's played it poorly. He's got the double kiss.
Not recommended when you're up against someone who clearly is playing some delightful snooker, as Mark Allen is. His comments, O'Sullivan, after winning his first match here, I thought were illuminating. He said that he's been playing a lot of exhibitions, but nothing can prepare you for tournament play apart from tournament play.
1.
He said you're playing very different conditions, very different environment against opponents who can't make a 30 or a 40 break. You become lazy in your shot selection. And that's why he's committed himself to a succession of tournaments in an effort to get back that competitive sharpness.
Well, he's not had much table time so far this evening, and he might not get any more in this one, the way Mark Allen's been playing. Just look where the reds are.
9.
By the way, in the first frame, Allen purposely screwed it off in potting the final black, so it wasn't a break over 128, it was a 1-2-1. Now I think he's working on the fair assumption that 128 wouldn't last as the high break of the tournament, but if it did, I think he'd feel
60.
a little silly. Done himself out of £1,000.
Somebody, I know what you're saying. Somebody makes it, I mean, he's at the top now. He's just taking over John Higgins at 1-1-8, but I know what you're saying. Somebody makes a 1-2-6 or 1-2-7. Yeah, I think, especially when we get into the latter stages, best of 11s and the final, the best of 17 on Sunday, somebody will be making a 130 plus, probably a 140 plus, hopefully a maximum. We shall see. Well, he was hoping to find the gap there. He hasn't done it. He's got this red to the middle, but it's awkward. Oh, he's done well. What a great shot that is to get there. I mean, he had the wrong angle on the red. He's powered it in. I think he's up for this, Phil, don't you?
You just get that impression. Yes, that was fantastic. To actually pot that red was no mean feat because the cueing was so awkward. To pot it at that pace, top notch.
Yeah, especially to get the right side of the blue as well. Every chance now to make it 2-0. Food for thought for Ronnie.
35. 36.
We've talked about O'Sullivan lacking match practice. I suppose you could say the same thing about Mark Allen. Chose to have a very quiet summer. The call of the golf course for him was irresistible. He withdrew from the Riga Masters, didn't enter the World Open or the Indian Open, so didn't play his first matches of the season until the Paul Hunter Classic in August. Here though, making up for lost time.
51. 52.
Yes, nicely pushing that red over the middle pocket. Just a few balls away from making it 2-0. A wonderful start from the Irishman. I think you could see I was noticing that as the boys walked out there, Phil, you could see Mark just behind Ronnie, just slightly behind Ronnie, walked out. He looked really focused.
Yeah.
I think that's kicked a little bit. Well, he's got the blue to the corner, but he'll have to just have a look at this. Yeah, it's jumped. That's why it's, the pace was taken out of the cue ball. A little bit more to do with the white here because he'll probably play on the reds to the right centre. He's going for the blue in the middle, actually. Well, I don't know why he's played it that way. He's played it too hard. He's not on the red. Don't understand why he did that. I thought he might play it to the corner and come off the side cushion with a cue ball. He's out of position. I bet he wishes he could have that one back.
Yes, tantalisingly, Allen only 61 ahead. 67 left on the table.
Very strange that. I thought he would have gone to the corner. No, he's not thinking about the plant, is he? Oh. Well, I'm not too sure about that one.
Mark Allen, 65.
Especially, okay, the 3 reds near the top cushion, but he's got Ronnie on the ropes. Why let him up?
And over the years, time and time again, we've seen O'Sullivan clear up. Turns a frame around in the blink of an eye. And he did have leeway with colours, didn't have to pot blacks all the way. 56 behind now, 59 on, so drop on the black here, develop the 3 reds, and all of a sudden the frame changes complexion.
And possibly the match. I don't understand that plant that Mark took on. Well, I don't understand why he's played this to the middle. The better angle was to play the blue to the corner. He could have got on the reds into the other middle. Well, there you go. I mean, you know, Mark's going to have to sit there now. Ronnie's played a terrific cannon, and there's not a difficult ball on the table. There's nothing safe. Why do all that hard work and play a stupid plant?
And taking on a reckless plant like that against O'Sullivan might get O'Sullivan's dander up. It wasn't a lack of respect, we know that. But to do that against the Rocket, ill-advised in my opinion.
I wouldn't disagree with that. Well, it wasn't even set, was it? Had to be made. Don't understand that. I mean, Mark's not a rookie. He's an experienced player. Well, you know, at the end of the day, he must have fancied it, and you make those decisions when you're down there on the floor. But it could cost him this second frame. It should have been 2-0. It might be 1 apiece, and suddenly Ronnie's back in this match.
This is the big shot, especially where the pink is. Didn't want to catch the bump of the middle pocket there.
Yeah, it was just a fraction. Well, it's not bad. You can get out for the green off 2 cushions. Got it. Keep going though. Keep going. Perfect. Needs them all, of course.
42.
Well, Mark Allen must be sitting in this chair thinking, why did I play that plant? Why didn't I just play safe?
46.
But a clearance that just underlines that O'Sullivan is still very much a dangerous animal. Class act.
Well, Mark sent Ronnie a message in the opening frame with that century. And Ronnie's just returned the compliment here with this wonderful clearance.
That's the message. Do not mess with the Rocket. A match that's living up to expectations already. Tremendous stuff. Mark Allen could have been 2-0 ahead. In fact, it's 1-1. Well, I must say, I'm really enjoying this. Welcome back, everyone, to Bucharest, Romania, where Mark Allen and Ronnie O'Sullivan have played 2 terrific frames already. This the story, the debating point of the match so far. Allen in control, century in the first frame, on 65 in the second, but he was impatient there, tried to force the issue, took on a plant that was reckless, over-ambitious, and O'Sullivan did the rest. That's why it's all tied up at 1-1, everything to look forward to.
Well, you know, you could just see the reaction of Mark when he played that. You could see him say to himself, what have I done? Why have I just played that?
I think given the quality of the personnel involved this evening, we have to remind ourselves that this is the last 16. Could be a final. Now that's one aspect of O'Sullivan's game that has, to a degree, deteriorated in recent years. Sometimes he's still a devastating potter from distance, but he's not the consistent potter from distance he was in his 20s.
One. Mark Allen, 1.
Could have done with the cue ball tight to the cushion. The red near the pink spot is available, but it's tough. It's not an easy pot to take on, but these boys don't tend to back away from them. If they go in, they know they can win the frame. He's got it. Oh. Well, there was no hesitation there. He looked at the pot, got down, knocked it in.
Yes, and after the disappointment of the previous frame, that took some mental strength.
These guys are very good, though, Phil, aren't they? They're just so quickly, you know, they're raising those sort of situations from the memory banks. They just think, come on, okay, let's move on. It's a frame I should have won.
7.
Well, I think there's 1 or 2 people taking pictures and there's a flash on the phones or something.
Photos, please. Thank you.
Well, what about this to get in? I mean, the opening red in the first frame was brilliant. And that's a great pot from there, because he knows that if he misses it, he's leaving everything for Ronnie. And now they should be his.
And of the 2 players, he's the most recent tournament winner. O'Sullivan's last title captured was the Welsh Open.
13.
But a little later than that last season, up at Event City in Manchester, Mark Allen won the Players' Championship. And talking of Event City, that's the venue next week for the new English Open, which is live and exclusive here on Eurosport. Both of these players start out on Tuesday. Mark Allen takes on Jamie Barrett in the first round. Ronnie O'Sullivan has a tough match against Jimmy Robertson from Sussex.
19.
Well, there's no doubt these 2 have hit the ground running. You know, the first frame century with Mark, and then that clearance from superb clearance from Ronnie in the second, and these now for the Irishman.
5.
Wanted to be straight on this blue. He could have held for the right hand red. I don't know whether he might go into them. No, that's fair enough. Played that well, and he's dead straight on the red and hold for the black. trying to put the disappointment of losing that second frame behind him here, and so far so good. Good stuff this, Phil. High quality, isn't it?
38.
Well, I said at the start it was a pleasure to commentate on a match involving Ronnie O'Sullivan, and I think it was remiss of me because it's also a pleasure when Mark Allen is flowing like this.
Well, when we started out on Monday, Phil, and I was with David Hendon, we're doing the Anthony McGill-Ali Carter match. Well, what a match that was as well, 4-3 to Anthony McGill, and that was a cracking way to start the tournament.
47.
It was a brilliant day, all round. Well, this is of the highest quality between these two. He's thinking that this frame's gone, but you always have to keep your concentration when you're in the chair, just in case you get the chance like he did in the last frame and made that lovely clearance. Now this is a key shot. Oh, he's missed the black. I think he's got a kick there. I think it's kicked off the spot.
Mark Allen, 55.
It sounded a bit thuddish, a bit heavy. Well, I hope we get a replay because I think that definitely kicked off the spot.
Well, the clue was where the cue ball came to rest. How did it finish there? Now O'Sullivan needs a big bounce. Can he pinch another?
It's bounced. That's definitely bounced, and he's caught the side cushion. Yeah, that was a bad contact. This has to go in though.
Yes, as I suspected, the black.
Well, I'll tell you what, Phil, if Ronnie pinches this one as well, this will hurt Mark Allen. There's a chance that he could have been leading 3-0, and now he could be 2-1 behind.
7.
Yes, it was a double whammy. The black was undercut because of the kick. It went into the reds, split them, repelled the cue ball back near the top corner pocket, and now another great escape
14.
could be in the offing.
I suppose only a little bit of insurance for Mark here is the green, but it's a couple of inches off the cushion. It's not easy to get it. It's not difficult to get in behind and get onto the brown as well. If it was tight to the cushion or nearer to it, then fair enough. He's just doing the maths. .41 behind, 34 with this. He's got plenty of wriggle room with the final two reds.
22.
You can take the blue and the brown here.
.23.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's thinking. Brown after the final red.
Well, the obvious stumbling block would be the pot on the green and the position on the brown to follow.
29.
Yeah, I think it's not too bad, Phil, is it? That green is just slightly off the cushion. As I mentioned, a couple of inches. Well, okay, he might have lost that the last frame with taking that plant on, which I think he shouldn't have done, but Mark's been a little bit unlucky
35.
here with that kick on the black, which looks like it's cost him this third frame, especially if Ronnie can pop this in, get himself onto the brown, which he should do. No problem. Well, this is some match. This is punch and counter punch.
42. .47. 53.
A kick on the black, followed by a kick in the teeth. Mark Allen could easily be 3-0 ahead, but he's 2-1 down. 3 frames played in around 35 minutes. Wonderful entertainment at Circus Global here in Bucharest, Romania. Ronnie O'Sullivan 2-1 ahead of Mark Allen, halfway towards a place in the quarterfinals.
Well, this is of the highest quality. I mean, let's just go back and think about what's gone on. Mark Allen's made a century in the opening frame. The second frame had 2 visits. The third frame has had 2 scoring visits. Unbelievable. Two great clearances from Ronnie O'Sullivan. This looks good if he gets a fairly good bounce on off that cushion. It's not bad. It's the Irishman's time here now to respond as to what has gone on. This is the black. Well, it has bounced. I mean, it hasn't hit that really hard, but it's just taken off, and it's cost him the frame. Could have done without hitting the blue. Yeah, he's having a go at this red on the right hand side. The black is available. He will be leaving a red in the middle though. He's got it. Oh. Well, these two lads are bringing the best out of each other. Well, that's amazing, Phil, isn't it? That pot success, 94 and 96%. 3 frames gone.
8.
At the highest level, you often get one player performing superbly, but simultaneously that's the real treat.
9.
And one thought that Allen has got to fight against. Somewhere in the back of his mind, a little demon might be saying, you could be in here to win.
60.
Quite conceivably. Win the match.
70.
Well, that's gone slightly wrong. He wanted to leave himself straight on this red. It's still on. I was just thinking he's taken 3 red, 3 blacks. But at the moment, the importance is to get the frame on the board and level up the match, because 3-1 behind in with the mood that Ronnie's in, that's trouble. Might go down for the blue or one of the bulk colours here. I can't see him staying on the black. It's all about levelling the match up at this stage.
25.
Looks good. Well, this is a treat for everybody, really. These two boys are hitting the ball beautifully, and they're determined.
$31.
Could have done with a little bit more angle on the blue. There's a couple of reds that do go to the left corner here. He might be able to run through and get onto those. No, I think he might have gone too far. He didn't get enough sort of, well, angle on the cue ball from the blue. He wanted to be a little bit further down the table. I'm not sure whether he's on this back red here on the right-hand side. He might be. Well, okay, but he's played it with an element of safety.
Mark Allen, 36.
Well, if he comes off one near the pack, he's going to be having to hit this for a half ball, and he doesn't want to spread them far and wide. He could push one over a corner pocket. He's going to have to be careful. Looks pretty good. Yeah, well done. Too thick. Well, I say he's got away with it, but it could have been worse.
Yes, a red is on, but so is the pressure. And John Spencer, you know, always used to say, so many frames in snooker are won as a direct result of your bad shots, and maybe this is going to be one of them.
Well, does the blue go? Or can he see enough of the black? Yeah, another one, Crotty said as well, this game starts getting interesting when they start missing. It's great watching the centuries and the maxims go in, but when the tension is there and the pressure's on, one or two mistakes come in. There hasn't been too many mistakes in this match so far from these two. It's been high quality. I think that was probably the first real glare of mistakes with regards to pop that Mark's just done there. A couple of safeties from Ronnie, but apart from that, neither of them have done much wrong so far.
8.
And again, that sounded a little bit lumpy there. I think that was a kick. I think Ronnie was happy to see that red go in. But just have a look at this. Just have a look at the contact.
I think it was more the springy bounce.
Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah, I think you're right, Phil. You're right. I thought it was the red, but you're absolutely right. It was definitely a big bounce off the cushion, wasn't it? It's not bad, though. Well, only just grabbed it, and he hasn't played that very well. He's played on the red behind the black. Well, there's a few oohs and ahs, but he didn't play the pop there because it didn't go. He's definitely played the safety. Bit thin, bit pacey, and needs some cover. And he hasn't got it.
Now then, the examination of cueing.
Well, he passed that test. Bang in the middle.
Struck especially sweetly.
Well, we've got another player likes knocking those in from distance coming up soon as well. Neil Robertson, the Aussie, he knocks in a high percentage of those. So that's his speciality, really.
5.
He's taking on young Reece Clark. It just depends how long this match will last.
Well, I don't think the Aussie and the Scot will be unduly detained, let's put it that way.
Just a quick look at Mark in the chair there. I mean, the way the match is unfolded, he could have been leading 3-0, and at the moment, he might be 3-1 behind. And they've not been playing an hour yet.
20.
About 50 minutes. Just under.
$21. $28. $29.
I think that was a little kick, actually. Took the pace out of the white. Now, can he get enough action on the cue ball here to cannon into this red? He can, but he's caught it too full. It's on to the corner. Just saw the times there, these two players, 15 and 16 seconds. I said probably playing time is, well, actual playing time at the tail. Let's not forget about setting the balls up. Probably about 45 minutes. This is quick fire stuff from these two. Is that there? Just caught the near knuckle.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 36.
Well, a good 36 from Ronnie. Leads by 12. Didn't get the cannon from the black correct. Well, that's a bonus. He was just trying to push the red up the table. Just as well he's got the snooker, because he would have left the red on. You'll take that. Looking to hit these two reds down here. Oh, that's a bit wide, I think.
Foul.
Well, that's going back.
The miss. Mark Allen 4.
Actually, it might not, because if he plays this first red full ball, he could push both the reds up the table and might be able to get the white in behind the black. He's thinking, well, if Ronnie gets it right, he's not going to leave me anything on. So he's going to try and open up the frame here. That was good thinking.
And now where the balls are, you get the feeling the next error will be the last error, whoever might commit it.
Just depends where these finish. Could have been worse.
Yeah, it's one of those deceptive shots, this. It looks as though Allen has got the red to middle, but the way the pockets are cut on these match tables, it would be such an acute angle to knock the red in. It would be far too much a risk.
Yeah, I think he'll try and get the white behind the black here, Phil, and take the red up the table. He wants to try and use possibly the... He's got to play this with a little bit of pace, because he use the yellow and the blue as a stopper, bring the white to the top cushion. Pretty good.
It's by far the scrappiest frame of the match. And yet, psychologically, probably it's going to be the most important.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that, Phil. Well, there's a half chance here for Ronnie to the yellow pocket. He might be able to hold for the pink. I don't think Mark intended the double kiss. I think he'll be going for this. Got it. It's only bang in the middle. Oh.
He turns 41 in December, there's Ronnie O'Sullivan, but he still plays predominantly a young man's game.
Couldn't hit that any better. He's nicely held for the pink. Well, Mark threw everything at him in the first frame, but Ronnie's just stood his ground. And that's, ooh, slow down, slow down. He's hoping to hold for that red. I don't know if he's there. And the yellow was a more difficult pot than the pink.
Yes, the pink had no positional future, so that's why he took on the more exacting pot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 3.
He's left this, but it's not easy from distance. Didn't need a second invitation. Now, don't go straight on the black and leave yourself an angle. Oh, I don't know. I think it's too straight as we watch the replay. Good red. Well, if you can't get anywhere near this final red, well, you won't be able to from there. Well, you could take the 7 points and play a safety, but I would suggest just to try and lay a snooker.
Well,
that was nearly a very, very good snooker. You can see what he's trying to do, just bounce the black in front of the cue ball. It's still a good safety. Well, there's nothing in it. 10 points, all to play for in this fourth frame. But as Phil has mentioned, a massive frame this for both players for different reasons. Here's a chance. Will he take it on? He could drop this in for the black. Nope. Ooh, whoa. That was massive, absolutely massive, that bounce there. Just as well he's got a little cannon into the blue. Well, that's two we've seen off this top cushion, one for Ronnie and now one for Mark.
Yes, doesn't bode well. I don't know what the reclothing schedule is for the week, but if they're going to be like this on Wednesday, what they're going to be like on Friday or Saturday.
Well, they'll either need to recover or just change the cushions. Meanwhile, Ronnie is not the red in, and it could be 3-1. It should be 3-1.
Well, if he knocks in the blue, that means he arrives at the colours 16 ahead, which means yellow, green and brown would be needed.
Just look at that. I mean, that's what we call a power sun shot. That's a great shot to get there. Double checking the scores.
Eight. Eleven.
Not sure if this brown passes the pink. Well, it's just got a little bit in between here, but he's taking this down the left-hand side. This is frame ball. No.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 11.
If anything, he just landed on the green a little bit straight and tried to get over for the brown. He'll be disappointed that he didn't get position on the brown. He'll be disappointed with that, because it was a fair way away. Could do with some cover. Mark Allen can still sneak this frame.
Well, there was a look of concern on O'Sullivan's face there as the brown went back down the table, but it applied the brakes just about okay.
Well, that would have been a disaster if the cue ball had gone in. He would have needed a snooker, and also there would have been a pot on the brown for Ronnie.
Another very hollow sound as the cue ball made contact with the top cushion. It really is bouncing there.
Oh. Well, it's caught the knuckle, but he's still got the snooker. Nicely played. Things might turn around here. Ronnie at the moment favourite, but he's got to get this brown safe. Good hit. Not bad.
You're on camera. Naughty, naughty.
He's not going to live that down, is he? Great crowd in. And of course that always creates the atmosphere. I think Mark thought about taking the pot on there for a little while, but chose to play the safety, and it's pretty good. This is a little bit awkward here for Ronnie. Yeah, well done. You heard Mark say great shot. A lot of respect these two lads have for each other at the table. That's not bad either. Trying to get it in behind the blue. I think it's just about there. Well, they're certainly enjoying this match as we are. This is terrific stuff. Great entertainment. Middle back. Ooh, now then. All of a sudden, we were thinking it was going to be 3-1. It could be 2 apiece. I just thought as soon as he hit this brown here, and it's thin, it's come off that angle, it was always going to be close.
4.
Well, we've had 4 great frames here, Phil. We could do with another 3. This is great stuff. But
50.
Ronnie was, well, strong favourite up to that in off.
We started with a century, then 3 consecutive frames decided on the final black. It is 2-2. A cracker. When Ronnie O'Sullivan and indeed Mark Allen take to the tables, expect fireworks. When they come up against each other, they always produce a match to remember, and this is no exception. Frame 5 gets underway, nothing to choose between them. A place in the European Masters quarter-final at stake. The winner to meet either Mark Davis or Liang Wenbo, who played their last 16 match. First up tomorrow afternoon.
Well, he's had a look at this red on the left-hand side. He's thinking about taking it on. He can't get himself onto the black, but it's the red that's near the black that's the problem. He would leave things on from Ronnie. But I'm sure delighted to be 2-2 because the latter stages of the last frame, it definitely looked like 3-1. It's game on. Well, he just said to Ronnie, is that all right for you? It was the second kiss that did the damage. I mean, OK, he missed the pot by some distance. Just look at this. But if he doesn't get the second kiss there, it might have been OK.
It was quite a funny comment from Mark Allen, but the game face of O'Sullivan was very much on. He didn't crack a smile.
1.
Earlier today, in our first match, John Higgins beat Tom Ford 4-3. In so doing, reaching his 101st ranking event quarter-final. If O'Sullivan prevails in this match, it will be his 99th.
You saw the graphic there as well. Just over an hour these boys have been playing, so it's an average of 15 minutes a frame. And we saw the shot time as well, 15 and 16 seconds. And they're not hanging about. But it's hard match snooker. Ooh, caught the near knuckle, but it went in.
Eleven. Twelve. 15.
Well, he was hoping to be on the red left of the pink to get onto the black, but he's having to settle for this one.
16.
Just wants to try and get himself around the black spot here. And the red above the black does go into this left corner. Might play on it on this occasion. No, he's played for the other one, but again, if this is straight,
21.
it's perfect. Just get beyond that that red on the left-hand side of the black. Backspin. No. Played the percentage shot. It's a frame-winning opportunity, though, Phil.
Yes, and the first time in the match that O'Sullivan has had a good early chance in a frame.
$27. $28.
Well, it was the attempted red, but I said it was the second kiss on the same red that really did the damage and scattered them. Yeah, then that's kicked. Took the pace out of the cue ball.
35.
Should be okay, though.
36.
Here's an illuminating statistic, Mike. This is Ronnie O'Sullivan's 45th frame of the season. Remarkably, by his standards, he's yet to make a century. Might be putting that to rights at this visit. The overriding priority, though, win the frame.
Yeah. Well, as we've said before, he's been playing a lot of exhibitions against Jimmy White, Judd Trump, a series of matches, and he's been knocking in maximums all over the place.
But that shot was lax. Caught the pink on the way back. It won't pot, so has to knock in this recovery blue. Knocks it in with aplomb. Over the years, no one has been better at that shot than him.
$46.
In fairness, no one has been better at most shots than him.
Well, there's one thing you did say when Mark Allen scattered all the reds, and he said, "Is that okay for you?" And you mentioned he had his game face on, and he was determined to make this this opportunity count. The black and one more red will do. You could play a little cannon into the two reds here. Well, chose to play on the one to the middle. That's fair enough, but only wants the red.
61.
Well, again, when Mark made the comment, are these okay for you? They certainly
69.
were. He's done the business. And he's going to put his nose back in front. Put himself one frame away from the quarterfinals. Cracking match, this. Probably especially the ones I've seen this week, Phil, this is probably the best one. Like I said to you, the Anthony McGill and Ali Carter match was terrific, but this is probably the most entertaining match that I've seen this week. Well, he's missed that, but he should have done enough.
Yes, it is enough. O'Sullivan not happy with the contact, but thankfully, if it was a kick, it came too late to affect the outcome of the frame. And so again, O'Sullivan hits the front. He was ahead at 2-1. Now it's 3-2. One more needed. Mark Allen with it all to do. 3-2 down in this race to 4. In this last 16 match in the inaugural European Masters in Romania. But make no mistake, he's capable of fighting back. That, though, was the error in the previous frame that cost him dear. The reds went everywhere, and after that, the reds went in to the tune of a 77 break from O'Sullivan. And that's why the 5 times world champion has the edge at 3-2.
Yeah, I suppose there was just looked at Ronnie. There was a hint of a little smile there, Phil. Might have made that comment, but like you said, the game face was on after that. Now, are we going to go into a decider? That is the next question. Oh, might not be. I mean, he's kicked that in the side. He's got a perfect cannon. Good day to have a ticket. We've got the best seat in the house. Great stuff.
8.
I mean, that first red was wonderful. It wasn't naturally on. He had to kick it in with a touch of side. He's building himself slowly back into his best form, Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's admittedly said that I want to play in more tournaments this year to get that edge back. Well, it's coming.
Yes, victory here today would be his 6th in 7 matches this season. And given the status of his opponent, by far the most significant. He played nicely against Dave Gilbert in the previous round. But with this, he's gone up a gear or two.
23. $30. 31. $38.
Thought for a moment he might have overscrewed that in a neat side
39.
to coax in the red, but now one more has come into the open. The rest of the bunch partially split.
$46.
And that's gone slightly wrong. Is he thinking about a plant here and then holding for the pink to the opposite middle? He's coming back for the black. Unlucky. Unlucky. It had to be made. There was distance between them, but wasn't that far away. Got to say, in some ways, just let Mark play this shot, but that looks good. Oh, I mean, Ronnie would be a little bit annoyed there with himself, Phil. He didn't finish the job off. But what a red that is.
Yes, his plant there, unlike Allen's in the second frame, which was reckless. A certain element of safety was built into the shot, but clearly not enough safety.
Mark Allen, 1.
Well, he struck that so poorly that he's not landed on the intended red, and just as well. He's played on the loose one to the right corner. He just, well, has he put a quick one in there? Is Ronnie playing the double? Oh, well, I thought he found the gap. He might be on the pink. Looks like he's on the pink. Well, if this goes in, it could be all over for the Irishman. Stayed with it. He stayed down, and it was bang in the middle. And they know that this is a wonderful opportunity for Ronnie to put himself into the quarterfinals. Okay, it went off the front edge. It looked from the other angle it was bang in the middle, but it doesn't matter. It went in.
$8.
This could be a key shot with the cannon. Lovely.
50.
It's one of those matches, Phil, isn't it? You know, that they both played that well. There's a shame that somebody has to go home, because we've been royally entertained here by these two lads. Might be a fair way to go yet, but they might not.
Well, this is frame and match ball coming up.
2.
Looks all over for the Irishman, and he'll be disappointed because he was 2-1 behind and he could have been leading 3-0. He started so well, Mark Allen, with that 121 in the first, but the next 2 frames could have gone either way. This has been a great match.
He's a terrific player, Mark Allen. There's no doubt about that. He started explosively, as you say, Mike. But he was the architect of his own downfall. He was in control of this match. On 65 in the second frame, he took on a plant he shouldn't have ever thought about. O'Sullivan cleared up to win on the black.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Phil. And that was a time where the door was slightly open to Ronnie O'Sullivan,
45.
and he's walked through it strongly.
46.
When he's playing like this, it's great for Ronnie. It's great for everyone who loves snooker.
53. 54.
Many descriptive terms used for him. One that most definitely applies: incomparable.
60. 62. 65.
Mark Allen looks in reasonably good nick. He will be back, make no mistake about that. But today, that's O'Sullivan's.
69.
Well, the glad thing is they don't have to. There's not long between here now and Manchester, so they can get straight back home. Bit of practice, probably a day off, bit of practice, and concentrate next week. It's not as if you're going to have to hang about for a few weeks. But Ronnie's beginning to look good. There were signs yesterday that he was starting to play better when he beat Dave Gilbert last night, but today he's been even better.
What a talent, what a match, and for Ronnie O'Sullivan, what a result. He overcomes a top-class opponent with a top-class performance by a score of 4 frames to 2. And for him, the quarterfinals of the European Masters beckon. Mark Allen goes home.